Hey, everybody. So, who named that band Wobbler? I'll tell you what. I have not often been as surprised and delighted and anxiously happy that a band like this has come along. Because, you know, East Coast Pete used to think that rock was on its way out. It was going to die off and we'd end up with something else. But give credit to these Norwegians. Man, this band was formed as a nod to the sounds of 1969 through 1974. It's just a respect for where they came from, a respect for that which is respectable. This automatically piques my interest. The Wobbler signed with the Laser's Edge, an American label. It seemed likely that they were taking aim at the American market, and almost anything is going to be better than Magic Pie. There was no MIDI, and only vintage instruments were used. It makes me feel old to think that Mellotrons and Mini Moogs and Rhodes and Clavinet and ARP are considered vintage. Oh well. Their first album, Hinterland, was a live album, unheard of for a new band, and even more curious because they don't tour very much. But let me tell you, Hinterland is a real gem. Yep, rock is saved again, but I still need to ask, who named that band Wobbler? The next three albums were Afterglow in 2009, Rights at Dawn in 2011, From Silence to Somewhere in 17. I believe that's what this is. And something funny has happened, continuing this band's unusual history. It seems that Silence is considered by top prog album of 2017 by a bunch of publications, including Angry Metal Guy, The Prog Space, Prog Report, Prog Radar, Team Rock, Sonic Perspectives, and The Fire Note. And Wobbler is now the King of Norway. The acclaim has been overwhelming, often rapturous, and nearly anything is better than Magic Pie. The members are Chris Hultgren on bass, bass clarinet, and bass recorder, Lars Freusley on keyboards and backing vocals, Martin Neppen on drums, percussion, and recorder, Andreas Wettergreen Stroman Prestmo on vocals, guitar, and glockenspiel, Germarius Bergam Hall England on lead guitar. I'm going to try that name again because it's like got to sound better than that. Germarius Bergam Holland. Better? Well, anyway, he's lead guitar and the vocals. Anyway, and I know what you're thinking. It had to be Andreas Wettergren Stroman Prestmo who named the band Wobbler, right? I mean, their logo isn't even perfectly symmetrical. What the fuck? Here's a quote from Bandcamp. On From Silence to Somewhere, Wobbler cooks an enigmatic, multi-flavored, and adventurous brew in the old black cauldron. 4 epic songs, a 47-minute masterpiece. Yeah, I love it. The themes are metamorphosis, change, and alchemy. Sounds like the Obama administration a little bit. And on sites that offer albums for sale, each one has a big red block letters saying sold out. Can I get a t-shirt? No, sold out. All of the albums have undergone careful remixing to allow them to breathe, as Lars Frostley put it, and I'm wondering if any remixing or repackaging matters, since it is sold out. Apparently the publishing is not able to keep up with supply and demand. Did I say rock is saved? I did. Well, I'm saying it again. So we can continue with our story about how rock is saved. Why did I think rock was dead? Well, I think a lot of people did. And we should have known better, actually, because rock is never going to die. Neil Young or no. See, we've been looking at things like the Grammy Awards, Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and who's selling the most albums these days. It just doesn't seem to be, bands like this. They certainly should be, though. This is like the Beatles, for God's sake. The Beatles and the Stones and Pink Floyd all mushed together into a beautiful conglomeration of Norwegians. And they all speak English, too. And, our bands from the 60s and 70s were aging, not necessarily like fine wine, more like old Coke. And new people weren't stepping up, or we weren't aware of their stepping up, because our publications were concentrating on Celine Dion, Beyonce. This is an attempt, of course, to equalize the playing field. It's the politically correct thing to do, and basically singers of that caliber are pretty much controlled by their label, pretty much controlled by the entertainment business for which they are a pawn. It takes somebody from a different country to look at that and say, look, this is what we want to do. This is what you want to hear, isn't it? It is. So I wish Wobbler many, many happy returns. Very impressed. I'm delighted by what has come so far, and I'm looking forward to more in the future. So, hooray, rock is saved. Yeah. Everybody take excellent care of yourselves and each other.